Hello, Lenda Murray, and joining me, my co-host, Alina Popa, and joining us, the amazing 8-time Miss Olympia Fitness, Adela Garcia. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm so excited to be here. It's, cannot even, I'm still kind of sucking it in.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially like when I arrived and I was outside and I was like,
I know.
Look at that building.
I know. Wings
it's a building of Wills and strength. I know, right?
Bodybuilding promotions.
Exactly. I know. And I was like, I just cannot believe this.
I know. But it's amazing because we have so much history together,
yes.
Adela. You know, we were just talking, we go back to 1995 when we first met at the Nationals. And in Chicago, you know, and it's amazing because we were just sitting here saying like, wow, like I'm still here. Like this is 2020 and I'm part of this experience. So we are so blessed, we really are.
Thank you.
And you know, when I heard that your plans on coming back, and I'm like, yes. And do you remember our last conversation? We were together in Omaha.
Yes.
We were at the Omaha Pro. I think that was the first year that I was in Omaha. And we were about to actually get into a great conversation. But sometimes it's tough because we're at a show, we were at a booth, and we get interrupted, but we were on our way. You had just retired, and I'm not sure if it was a full year or maybe you were in your second year of retirement.
Second year.
The second year. And so you asked me, you said, you know, wow, this is really challenging being retired. Like, you were starting to feel like, I think, bored, or you were having some challenges, or just questioning, how do you transition? That was a question you asked me.
Yes.
Because you knew that I competed in 1990, won the 6th consecutive. I retired for 5 years. I came back. I got my 7th and my 8th at my retirement. Now you're coming back. You hear that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that, you were asking a question, I never really got to answer that. And so I watched your recent interview, and because you after that you disappeared for a while. So what was going on?
Well, actually, like after retiring, I don't think any athlete is prepared to do that.
Yes.
I mean,
you're right.
Even though we say, yeah, it's okay, we were gonna be fine, but you know, deep inside your heart, it's like, when you're an athlete, it's like, at that point, I was just, okay, what am I gonna do with myself?
Yeah.
So was it harder than you anticipated, right?
Yes, and yeah, I started doing silk, and it was nice because it was a challenge and I was learning it. And me, when I do something, I just have to do it all the way or I don't do it.
So you did silk competitively?
Not competitively, but I started performing at different venues. But it got to the point where I was just training too late. Yeah. And then I would go into my gym because I was owning a gym at that time, and it was a personal training place. And I will be cleaning because I don't like nothing dirty. And I get to the gym and I started cleaning everything. And I would spend like hours cleaning, and then it was almost, I've been there for 8 hours. The next day, it ended up being like I was being up for 3 days sometime because I needed to practice a routine. Yes. Like that. And I got very unhealthy.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, here's the thing. I know when, you know, during my first Miss Olympia reign, once you start winning, and you've won 8, and you won 8 consecutive, you're on a roller coaster ride, It starts, you win the first, and then you win the second and the third. When that happened and you decided to stop, I don't think we really have time to think about what we're going to do. And we know as athletes,
yes,
when you're competing just for that 16 weeks, after you've done it a number of times, we're prepared for that rebound and for having something to do the next day, because you get up, you're doing cardio every day. Is such a routine, and when it's over with, then there's nothing. So do you feel like, did you have something, or was there nothing? Did you just wake up and it was like there was nothing?
I was just like, okay, because I mean, fitness, growing up, like when I first started competing, I fell in love with fitness. Like fitness just give me structure.
Yes.
It taught me how to get things done. And it taught me how to go after things. And I never saw myself being that way. And when I first started training, I remember going to the gyms and I said, I can do this with my body. I mean, this is beautiful. And when I was like, it's like, I never thought it was going to be done. So whenever it was over, I think I'm going to be okay. But you know, years went by, and then it's just, I started getting lost. And I started getting, like, I didn't even know what to do with myself.
Because you didn't have that focus, that motivation, right? So you didn't find, let's say, anything way to transform it or to replace it with something else, right?
Right. I mean, I did the silk, like I said, but at the same time, it was... It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. I'm sure. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's something in my heart it's just missing, and I went into a depression.
Okay.
What did you miss the most? Did you miss the challenge and the focus in your personal life, or did you miss being under the spotlight, the attention, the fans?
Right. You missed the attention. You missed the applause.
No, I said
That's right. Be honest.
The check.
You missed the check.
No, I'm just fun. No. No, I mean, I miss everything about it. It's like the people, because I was not longer going to the shows. And even though you say you want to go, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you just. It's weird because I kind of feel like I didn't belong anymore.
Yeah. You know what? One of the things that we talked about that day in Omaha, you talked about how do you deal with no longer really. It wasn't even about the applause. It was about like how people change.
Yes.
Sometimes fans and even the people that are in the industry. I mean, I remember that first time retiring was different than when I finally retired. Because when I finally retired, I was mature and I didn't really care about the applause. I got it and I understood, and I didn't take it personal. When a photographer wasn't running up to me all in my, hey, how you doing? And can I take a picture? And then they literally like go from you winning and being 8 times, you know, to take about 18 months, and they start acting funny.
Yeah, I mean,
it's true.
That was, it's in just looking at the way that people are like, 1 minute they love you, and then the next minute it's like,
they still love us.
Yeah, I mean, they still
love us, and we realize that.
It's just, I mean, human. I mean, you're always gonna go, and you're gonna love the next person. And it's just like, it's nothing. I learned that it's nothing against anyone, but it's just like, that's just the way of life. That's the way life is.
Yeah.
So how did you pull out of it, right? Because that happened, you said you fell in a depression, right? But here you are, you're coming back. So obviously, your own thoughts, and you overcome it. So what was your secret, or what was the way to overcome that period?
I mean, it's like, it was about 2.5 years when I stopped working on, because at least I was doing stuff. I was doing the silk. I was doing my cardio. Once I stopped doing that, like my body, everything, like I started hallucinating. I would not leave my house. I thought that someone was doing something to me. It was
obviously. It was just a deep depression.
Yes,
you're on the
it
bottom.
was really bad. And then the not sleeping. So I finally I went to doctors. They put me on antidepressant pills, and honestly, it was okay at first, but one of the things that helped me a lot was my fiance, which was my husband, Trent. I started working at the place that he worked. He's like, you need to come and work there, and they teach classes. And once I started getting out of the house, because I was always in my home.
Yes.
And honestly, like your house it's nice to be at home, but not all the time. I mean, the house can make you sick too. So once I started going there, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror, and I was like, who's that girl? I mean, like, I was like bloated, and I mean, the good thing was like the back part was like, wow. I mean, that's not too bad. But
right. It's getting popular now. But, but that wasn't your intention.
But it was not. It's just not me. And I said, something needs to change. And I said, I need to change this. I need to do it for my family, because everybody was worried. A lot of people were worried. They would call. I'd never answer call. And finally, I heard that OKSANA was going to come back.
I see. Good.
And I said, I think it would be kind of nice if they have, you know, 2 champions come back and meet up back on stage. And OKSANA is one of the competitors that, I tell you one thing, she drives me. Like, I mean, we both, I'm always checking her out. And it's like, I always say, no disrespect to anyone. But it's when we were competing together, it's like she was one of the girls that I was like, because I mean, I know her work ethic.
Yes.
And it's like kind of like both of us, you know, it's like, and she knows me. Like when she's on. When I'm on, I'm on. But it's that respect, you know, and so I decided, I said, you know what, let's give it a try. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful, you know, that you show us your vulnerable side, right? Because not everybody, many people would be so proud, and you know, they wouldn't want to show a weakness or whatever that can be considered. But I see it as being vulnerable and soft, and then I think that all your fans appreciate that. So it's very nice to know that basically pretty much fitness started to pull you back too, right?
Yes.
It's like fitness saved my life when I was young, and and fitness saved my life now and again. So, you know, the challenge for the girls is that they don't become themselves on that stage. There's a lot of amazing girls, but they try like they just try to do what somebody else is doing. So if OKSANA is doing this, I want to be like her because she's winning, but hey, that doesn't gonna work for her. So I told any fitness girl, I said, hey, you have your own strength. You have your own abilities to go there and just to show, like, hey, this is me. You don't have to try to imitate somebody else. And I think that will help a lot of the girls a lot, because we need to build fitness. We need more athletes.
Well said.
Yeah, and so it's just part of that, because they're just so afraid. Gymnastics, you don't have to be a gymnast.
There we go.
I was never a gymnast.
You guys hear that? She said,
I was
you were never a gymnast.
No.
And they all, when we watch you guys on stage, and it's just so amazing. So we think that that's the requirement. Like, you have to do back handsprings and do that. But again, another Olympia champion confirms, 8-time Miss Olympia, she confirms you do not have to have gymnastics.
No gymnastics. No, I learned it, but then I decided, I said, why waste my time on that when I can do something, you know, some other different strength moves. You know, the same thing with Whitney. It's like, she has, I mean, I don't think she's a complete gymnast, but her routines are incredible, and she brings something different to that stage too.
On that note, what do you think is your signature move in your routines that you are making?
I have all the crazy push-ups.
Okay.
Yeah. They go so fast that, and then there's another one that I put my leg kind of over one side and then do the other one.
Yeah, I like that. You know, Sandy Williamson, she was interviewing Whitney talking, and she said that she writes that signature move like the girls now copy the ADELAS. She called it A+ something.
Yeah, but she had to put, like she said, that they don't do that many, like, because she count like how many they do. So she said, so that's it's not a no. And then she has like one for OKSANA as well, I think, and some of the other girls. It's just, we were talking about that the other day too. It's like, yeah, because it's just, I mean, something that we
that's a signature move. That's your move now. It's like, wow, that's really cool. So in your comeback and knowing what you know now and what you went through, do you have a game plan for, we never think past the Olympia, you know what I'm saying? We take it one day at a time. We were just talking about the importance of being present. And I do remember on my comeback after 2002 and going into 2003, because it was a different scenario than what we like grew up in. So do you have a plan? Are you thinking about, because before we think about our cookies, what we're going to eat after the competition, you know what I'm saying? We got that and you're ready. Because
they seem so important.
Yes, it's so important. Now it's different, right?
No, you know, of course. No, I honestly, when having this opportunity, I said it's going to be different.
Yes.
I had to, not just a plan, but it just like, I had to do something that is going to help other people out there too. It's not always about me, because that's the thing that it was when I was competing. It was always like, I was thinking, oh, it's all about me.
That's awesome.
And right now is that we got to think about, it's a lot of people that I can also help out. And that's why I share my story, because you never know who's going through something that can help them out. So, no, when I took the chance to do this, it's like, you know, this is an opportunity for me to do something bigger than what I did before.
Yeah, it is. It's a great opportunity, and I know that your fans, and it's really nice when you share information like this, just for so many reasons. It's a solid answer, and people really have an understanding, and your fan base just grows, because really it doesn't matter like if it's first place or second or third or fifth. It really doesn't, you know. I mean, I've lost the Olympia, I've competed, and people sometimes don't really understand when I say that the 3 Olympias that I lost, I won 8, but the 3 that I placed second, those were super important to me, and they were part of my growth. And I'm so cool with it, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. What's your plan as far as how do you see the whole like outcome? What do you visualize? I know you visualize yourself winning, because that's what we are. We're competitors.
When I got on the plane coming here, I was so emotional. I cried the whole way, because I said, I just can't believe that I'm repeating this. And then for me to be able to conquer this and step on that stage again, I mean, that's just a big win for me. And of course, you know, I'm training to win, but at the same time, that's one of the main things.
Yeah.
On a personal level, now, you're making a bold move coming back, right? But then obviously there will be a time when you're gonna have to step back, right?
Right.
So you have learned already, right? So kind of like you've learned already your recipe on what's going to happen when you return again, when you retire again, right? So how would you approach the retirement different in the future, obviously?
I mean, the thing about it is like I didn't think about when I first retire. This time, you know, it's like you know when you're ready. I felt like I was not ready. So you know when you're ready. Like now it's like, you know, I'm a little bit older, and so it's like with the training is different, but I also, you know, it's like age is what you want to make it to be. So I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna compete, and when my body's ready to say ciao ciao baby, then we're gonna have to just say, hey chica, go and dance some salsa then.
So pretty much
I love it.
That's a great thing to do.
I love
too.
it. Yeah, ciao, ciao.
You will already know because you've already been there, right? At that point. So you have that maturity and that growth that will prevent you from going deep into depression.
Exactly,
again,
and
right?
I understand this.
Everything is a lesson in life, right?
Right, and I understand that, and it's not going to be a hurtful thing like, oh, you know, I'm going to be gone. No, I mean, you have to give a chance to all the girls. You got to let other people, and like I said, help them out to be better.
Anyway, in the meantime, we're excited to see you on stage and your performance.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you're doing something very exciting.
Yes, you're gonna bring something very exciting. You're already
especially
thinking about
at Planet.
Yeah, no, because I'm sure.
Excuse me.
Have you like heard? You've had several songs that pop up. I know people would always ask me, "Do you ever think about coming back or competing?" And I said, you know, the only time I really ever think about that is when I'm at a show or if I'm in the car and I hear this great song, you go, wow, I could really rock that song. And my mind moves in certain ways. And then I realize that,
Oh, no, trust me, like music is right there.
Right, it's right there. Right
no,
there.
I got some songs. I just cannot say much because the whole theme is going to be kind of out there.
Yeah. Well, I know it's great. You're a great entertainer.
Like, when people see it, like, wow.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. Well, you are a great entertainer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adela, for joining us. And you guys, again, looking forward to seeing you at the Olympia to see Adela Garcia's return to the Olympia stage. All right, see you guys in our next episode.